Here's how much our 13-unit apartment building in Oklahoma makes us every single month. Spoiler, it's not going to be as much as you think. First off, we did a pretty good remodel on this place. Gave it a nice fresh exterior paint. Nothing fancy, just some new flooring and paint in all the units. While we were doing the remodel, we had some break-ins, as you can see here. The remodel cost us $106,000, and that got us 10 new water heaters, 3 new HVAC systems, exterior paint, and 9 fully remodeled units. We purchased this apartment complex for $280,000 off market. There are 13 units. Market rent on each unit is $600 a unit. That makes our total monthly rent $7,800. Now we got to take out expenses. Monthly tax is $214. It's Oklahoma, they're really cheap. Monthly insurance, $276. Again, it's Oklahoma, not too bad. Vacancy, this is to factor in how often a unit is vacant. Maintenance reserve, this is money we set aside in anticipation of regular repairs and maintenance. Management fee, that's what we pay to our property manager. No mortgage payment on it right now. I'll explain why. Making our monthly cash flow $5,125. Now that's what this property should be bringing in based on our detailed due diligence we did when we underwrote this deal. Now that we have owned this property for over a year and a half, here are the real numbers. Here's what it actually ended up collecting every month. Same taxes, same insurance, vacancy rate. This is why it's so much lower. We did not factor in that low-income housing, especially multifamily low-income housing, is gonna have a much higher vacancy rate. So instead of collecting $7,800 a month, the average ended up being $5,700 a month. Now, when we underwrote the deal, we assumed a 10% vacancy rate, whereas this property ended up actually having a 20% vacancy rate. Also, maintenance ended up being much higher than we anticipated. Multi-unit housing, especially older multi-unit housing, is gonna have higher maintenance and repair expenses. We thought 10% was a big enough buffer, but it wasn't. It ended up being nearly double. Management fee actually went down a little bit because obviously if we're collecting less rent, property manager gets a lower cut. So our actual monthly cash flow was $3,600. Now, because we bought this property off market and got such a great discount, our numbers still work even with the lower collection rate and occupancy rate. And also we bought this property in cash from a refi of a bundle of houses we bought previously that year. So that means there's no mortgage tied to this property. And if we have a month with low collections, we don't have to stress about making our mortgage payment. Here are 2 lessons from this. Lesson 1, we're done buying multi-unit housing. We don't like it. Single family houses are much easier to predict their actual return and actual performance. There's less variables that can go wrong, and they're a lot easier to manage. They got lower vacancy rate, higher collection rate, lower maintenance and repair expenses. So we're done with multi-unit. Lesson number 2 is always assume the worst possible scenario when you're underwriting a deal. Do not bank on optimal conditions. Assume it's gonna rent at the lowest possible rent. Assume for maintenance repairs, everything goes wrong, and assume only 70% of your tenants are gonna end up paying every month. Follow to keep learning from our mistakes.